Hi, welcome to XMPie. This video will demonstrate the use of the new uStore NG theme editor to customize the aqua blue theme for a store. We could start by creating a new store, but I think it might be beneficial to look at the steps needed to set up an existing legacy store to use the new theme. The steps we will take include duplicating the store, set the store to use the new uStore NG theme, configure group images and feature products, use the theme editor UI controls, identify and set CSS variables and custom CSS, preview and understand how the draft works, publish the theme customizations. In addition, if your store uses custom JavaScript or plugins developed by XMPie Professional Services, you will need to test them with the new theme and possibly make changes or updates to the customizations before publishing. To start, log into the uStore admin. Identify the store that you want to test with the new theme. Check the box and click Duplicate. This will allow us to experiment and test on the duplicate without breaking the original store. The duplicate process will take all of the products offline, so take a moment to put some products back online so we have some items for testing. Enter the store setup. First, I will make a more descriptive store name. Set the store to use the new uStore NG themes, and on the Appearance tab, you will see the new aqua blue theme is selected. Save and place the store online, and let's preview. Remember, you need to be using the Chrome browser in the back office. If you see any error messages here, confirm that you're using Chrome. You will see that we have some placeholder images for the product groups because there were no group images defined in uStore 9 and earlier. Also, the featured product component is showing all documents. Let's go to uStore admin and fix these two problems before we go to the theme editor. Start by managing groups. For each group, add a group image. I'm using 180 pixel square JPEGs, which is okay for the default aqua blue theme, but if you intend to change the size of the group images with CSS, you may need to use different sized image files. Since many customers will have this piece of cake store installed by XMPie support or training teams, I've zipped the files that I'm using in this demonstration for you to download from the Module Info tab. Now for the Featured Products group. In the initial release of uStore 10, the Featured Products component in the theme will take its items from the last product group in the list. This is why it's showing all products. So it is a simple matter to create a new root group, name it, and save your changes. Now just edit the products that you want to feature and add them to the product group. In a future release, the uStore team intends to make it possible to select the product group to feature, rather than it just being the last in the list. Let's preview and check our work. Nice. Let's move on to the theme editor. Open the theme editor by selecting Customize Theme from the Store Setup dropdown. The first thing we probably need to update is the store logo, so open the header and footer sections. Click to upload the new store logo. Again, it's provided with the resources zip that you can download from the Campus Module Info tab. Notice that every few seconds the theme editor will save your changes and provide you with feedback here. These changes are to the draft customization and only the uStore administrator can see them at this time. This allows for you to take time with your changes and only publish them when you are ready. Now the logo looks a little small to me. We can adjust the desktop header height slider to make it bigger, but I suspect there's some padding on the container, so let's inspect and use the browser dev tools to find out. Okay, here is our image tag. I'll click the containing div. There's no padding here. Let's go back to the image tag. Okay. Here is a max height, and it's using the header padding desktop CSS variable. If we scroll down, you'll see all the CSS variables defined in the root element. 20 pixels is quite a lot. We can easily reduce that in the CSS variables section. Notice that there's also a header padding mobile variable that would be used for the mobile device. So I will adjust both. Let's say 5 pixels. And copy, paste and edit for the mobile. You can find out more about the available CSS variables here in the Theme Customization Guide. Many customers have wanted to change the font used in the storefront. uStore NG makes this easy with the typography section, where all the Google regular fonts are available to select from. It's also possible to add custom fonts. This is documented in the Theme Customization Guide. Next, our highlight color. This mid-blue you can see in several places throughout the store is not quite the same corporate blue used by the piece of cake company. So let's go to the color and style and set the right highlight color. It should be 46787E. Okay, that fixed the highlight color. You can see it here. Now for the button color. Maybe we should also change this black in the footer to the corporate color. Easy. Notice that the CSS variables have also been used throughout the storefront. For example, even though the customization step is using the legacy.NET controls wrapped with the new React.js header and footer, the CSS variables for button color and highlight color are being used. Okay, back on the home page, I'd like to point out a small feature which is quite cool. In the header and footer area, I can change the header text color, and as well as the text, this also controls the icon color. This is made possible because the icons are SVG, which can take in a color change via CSS. While that's a cool feature, some customers may demand that you also change the icon entirely, which is possible but slightly more tricky. First, go to the Assets folder and upload your custom icon. Mine is My Account Icon PNG. Now right-click and inspect the icon to open the browser dev tools. You can see the SVG image is inside a span with the class of Profile Icon. The theme editor has a custom CSS area where we can override the default theme CSS classes. We want to hide the icon by setting the Profile Icon class to display none. And add the new icon as a background image on the Profile Icon container. The uploaded image asset is up one level in the Assets folder. Next, I want to change this promotional banner and reduce the height. I think it takes up way too much screen space. Pop into the home page banner area. Upload the banner graphic. and reduce the image height down to 310 pixels. While I'm here, I can change the title. And I don't want the subtitle, so I'll just enter a space. The default button Shop Now is good. The URL can be set to any product or product group. The format of the URL that you need to enter is shown below the text box. To identify the ID of the product or category, just browse to the product or group you want and copy the value from the URL. If you don't enter a value, the button will open the first product group. In this first release, these text fields do not appear in the localization page for stores that have multiple languages assigned. This will be added in a future version. Next, I want to move this text up, so it is not over the cupcake images. Open the browser DevTools again. You can see that the title text div is centered in another div, and its parent has a class of main that has its height set by the carousel height variable. I can either tell the main class not to center justify, or to set its height automatically from the contents. Okay, that's better. Let's preview the store now and make sure the change works for both desktop and mobile. It looks like it's working pretty well. Note that the theme editor is working in a draft mode. If I back out and use the normal uStore preview, you can see that the live store is still using the default theme settings. This means that you can work on your theme customizations over several days, and when you are ready, publish them to update the live store. While you are working in the theme editor, if you make some changes by mistake, you can either go back to the default aqua blue theme with no customizations, or if you've previously published theme customizations, you can also revert the draft back to the current live site's customization. The last thing to check is if your store has any custom JavaScript. This may need to be updated. Also check any professional services or third-party uStore plugins. So this has been a quick look at using the HTML controls provided to customize the theme, how to use the browser development tools to identify which CSS variables and classes you want to modify, and how to use the CSS variables and custom CSS areas in the theme editor to make adjustments to the default aqua blue theme for each individual store. In this example, we started by duplicating the store so that the old legacy store skin is being used until you have checked the store with the new theme and theme customization. So in a real-life situation, when you are happy with the duplicated test store, you need to note down all the customization settings used and swap the live store to use the aqua blue theme and set the same customization settings and publish. XMPie recognizes that this is not terribly convenient or accurate, so we plan to introduce in a future release a method to export and import theme customizations to different stores.